Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing wonderful. My name's Adrian Madaro, proud to be the state representative in East Boston and a champion of the Shannon Grant in the House. We're going to get things going in just a few minutes as people trickle in. We're going to have a great crowd attending today, as always, for our annual Community Safety Day. But as folks are joining, I do just want to draw everyone's attention to the word cloud on the screen. When we all registered for this event, we were asked what Community Safety Day means to us. And these are the responses, right? So I want to draw out some things like trust, healthy environment, listening for understanding, working together, health, support, freedom from violence, well-being, joy. These are all things that folks associate with Community Safety Day. And I think this is a beautiful way to visualize just how impactful these programs are. I'll take a minute and take a look at that word cloud. Matt, Lizzie, I do see people still coming in. Let me know when you want to kick things off officially. All righty. I got the signal. Well, good morning, everyone. Again, welcome to our annual Community Safety Day on the Hill. My name's Adrian Madaro, the state representative from East Boston, and the champion of the Shannon Grant in the House since I came into the building in 2015 as a state representative. Want to just start by recognizing a few colleagues. This is an event that always draws support from colleagues across the Commonwealth, which just underscores how important the Shannon Grant and the Safe and Successful Youth Initiative are for every corner of the Commonwealth. So far, we have Representatives Paul Schmidt, Paul Donato, and Steve Altrino. I'm sure we have folks from other offices, and I'll try my best to recognize folks as I notice them. Feel free to, any of my colleagues on, feel free to text me or shoot me a chat, because it is a little difficult trying to recognize everyone while we're virtual, but I will do my best. Really excited to have the opportunity to participate and MC this event once again. I look forward to this day each and every year, and hopefully next year we'll be able to come back and physically stand together to advocate for the importance of the Shannon Community Safety Initiative and the Safe and Successful Youth Initiative. I love the energy when we're in person that this event draws. But of course, I'm glad that we could still come together virtually like this. I want to thank the Metropolitan Area Planning Council, the Metro Mayors Coalition, the SSYI Advocacy Coalition, the countless youth services organizations involved in this event, our law enforcement partners across the Commonwealth, and so many others who helped make today's event a success, and more importantly, for doing incredibly impactful and transformative work out in our communities each and every day. I'm grateful that you're all able to take the time to join us this morning. I also noticed Representative Carol Fiola and Senator Sal DiDomenico, who you will hear from in a little bit. We're here again this year in support of critical funding for the Shannon Grant and SSYI in this year's state budget. Now, we all know that the pandemic has taken a real heavy toll on all of us, but that's been especially true for our youth. The funding from Shannon and from SSYI helps us create meaningful educational, employment, and enrichment opportunities for young people across Massachusetts. The connections gained through this positive programming help youth remain safe through the development of strong support systems and social bonds. At this juncture in the COVID-19 emergency, young people are just beginning to recover and reestablish those important social ties in their communities. So this funding is absolutely essential to supporting those efforts. In my district of East Boston, I've seen firsthand how the Shannon Grant and SSYI can uplift our youth and provide them with the best opportunities to lead safe, healthy, and successful lives. This funding not only benefits youth, but it benefits our entire communities which is why I think the name Community Safety Day is apt for these programs. This year, we're asking for $13 million for Shannon and a little over $12.5 million for SSYI, specifically dedicated in the FY23 budget to ensure that this important work can continue to positively impact youth and communities across Massachusetts. So I'm excited to hear from our partners in the legislature, our partners in the administration, folks on the ground doing this work, and our youth about the impact this funding has on our communities. So without further ado, let me just make sure I don't see any other colleagues. I think that I've gotten folks who've joined thus far. I do see Sally Cairns. Thank you, Representative, for being here. We're going to get right into things. The first speaker on today's agenda is Reilly Contreras, a Shannon statewide research partner from Northeastern University and the University of Pennsylvania, who will speak on how these policies impact our communities, really reviewing takeaways from research on the program and announcing some exciting news from some studies that were recently done. So Reilly, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Representative Madaro. Let me just share my screen. Let's see here. Can you all see that okay? Perfect. Great. Well, thank you again, everyone, for having me here this morning. My name is Reilly Contreras, and I am a program manager at the Crime and Justice Policy Lab at the University of Pennsylvania. We, in collaboration with Northeastern University, serve as the statewide research partner for the Shannon Community Safety Initiative aimed at reducing gang violence across the Commonwealth. As the statewide research partner, we assist the Massachusetts Office of Grants and Research and Shannon grantees by providing strategic thinking, critical analysis, and feedback to ensure the goals of the funded programs are within scope, on schedule, and within budget. What I love most about this project is that every year we have the opportunity to work with over 100 partners, ranging from police departments to boys and girls clubs, by helping them to document and share the impact they are having in their communities. Before I go any further, I just want to say a quick thank you to our Shannon partners who may be joining us today for sharing these lovely photos, which I've included in each one of my slides. Today, I'm delighted to announce the release of our 2021 Shannon Research Briefs. These 2 to 4 page documents summarize the impact of Shannon activities for the funded year, and we produce one for each of the 15 Shannon sites, as well as one statewide research brief. You can see an image of those briefs here in the slide. Research briefs will be made available to you today via email after the event and will also be made publicly available on the state's website. My presentation today highlights a few key takeaways from our statewide research brief, starting with funding. As you can see highlighted here, in 2021, Shannon awarded $9.75 million to 15 sites that provided services across 26 Massachusetts communities impacted by gang activity. Funding included initial awards totaling $9.4 million and an additional $350,000 COVID-19 relief funding, helping programs to quickly adapt to changing public health guidelines while maintaining programming and meeting the needs of their youth participants. In 2021, Shannon program served over 15,000 young people. This would be a data point worth celebrating in any given year, but especially in 2021 when the COVID-19 pandemic continued to pose a number of challenges to Shannon partners, including staff shortages, the need to adopt flexible and hybrid program models, and of course, the mental health consequences on youth participants and staff. In our statewide research brief, we provide a look at how Shannon funding breaks down in terms of investment per youth participant. Here you can see that in 2021, Shannon dollars funded 141 partner organizations across 15 sites at an average investment of $584.30 per youth participant. The Shannon program has 5 strategy areas, including case management and street outreach, community mobilization, education and employment, positive youth development and recreation, and suppression. Here we've also included the calculated investment per youth for education and employment strategy, which in 2021 was $113.59. In 2021, we saw a notable increase in Shannon activities from the previous year across each of the 5 program strategy areas. For example, the number of youth who participated in recreation programs in 2021, highlighted in the bar graph here in yellow, increased by 45% from 2020. Similarly, we saw that the number of youth who participated in case management services increased by 34%, and the number of youth who participated in employment programs increased by 84%. Each site brief also includes a section on gang activity and community risk factors. And while we don't have time to dive into this information for each site today, I will just highlight that in 2021, the 15 Shannon sites reported over 400 street gangs and 7,000 active gang members in their communities. Across the states, gangs were primarily involved in drug trafficking, associated violence, carrying weapons, and property damage. And notably, social media was used to recruit new young members, and for police departments that had available data, 2,319 gang members under the age of 25 were identified. And lastly, as the Shannon program partners with police and community organizations to reduce youth involvement in gang violence, it's important, of course, to take a look at crime trends in the Shannon-funded communities. Here you can see that over the past 5 years, there's been a decline in youth crime for young people ages 10 to 24. Since 2017, we see that simple assaults committed by young people in Shannon communities have decreased by 33%, robberies in Shannon communities have decreased by 72%, and aggravated assaults in Shannon communities have decreased by 40%. I know I've shared a lot of numbers and data with you today, so I'll stop here as I think it's time you heard from a Shannon participant. I just want to say thank you everyone for your time. My contact information is here on this slide if you'd like to reach out via email. And once again, these site briefs will be made available to you today via email as well as on the state's website. I will hand it back over to you, Representative Madaro, to introduce the next speaker.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Renee, and for all the work you do to really quantify how impactful these programs are. That data is very, very compelling, and thank you for sharing that with us today. Before we get to the next speaker, I just want to recognize some other colleagues who've joined us. We have representatives from various offices, including Representative Williams, Senator Timilty, Representatives Golden, Malia, Howard, Miranda, Cabral, Senator Brady, Representatives Janino, Lipper Garabedian, Rep Fernandez, and Representative Stanley. And we also have a representative from Boston, Mayor Michelle Wu. And in fact, it is Diego Hueso, who used to work for MAPC. So shout out to Diego for helping run this event for so many years. And it's great to be continuing the partnership with you on Mayor Wu's team. Next up, I'm really excited to welcome Luis Rubiera. It's always so important for us to hear directly from participants who can really speak to their lived experiences about why these programs matter in our communities. Luis is a Shannon youth participant and a Metro Mayor's site, and he's going to share his experiences having been an alumnus of the Jordan Boys and Girls Club. Luis, take it away. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. Hello. My name is Luis Rivera, and I'm a freshman at Suffolk University, and I'm now a staff member at the Jordan Boys and Girls Club. And I once attended the Jordan Boys and Girls Club since I was around 6 or 7. And I was one of those kids who would cry a lot, going to school, going to the Boys and Girls Club. And I felt very uncomfortable, but the Boys and Girls Club was different since I could be with my brother. And I still was very quiet, but my brother attended this club at the Boys and Girls Club called the Hiking Club. And he told me to come with him. So I did, and I was still in the corner, very shy, very quiet. And the staff member named Bree Rafford, she came up to me and she said, basically, don't think that you're weaker or slower or worse than the other kids here just because of your age, just because of how small you are. You're still strong and you can do this. And I thought to myself, there's no way she's actually telling me this because I don't think this at all. But once you went to our first hiking trip, I felt it just because of how they were motivating me. The staff members who went to the hiking trip, the members who went there, they were motivating me. And I still felt like, what? Why me? But I understood that since I was the youngest person here, they're going to motivate me. And I felt very, very more comfortable, and I was breaking out of my shell more. Being with the hiking club, I went to multiple places like Mount Rushmore. I went to California. I went to the Grand Canyon, Las Vegas. I saw a lot of stuff that I couldn't have seen if I wasn't at the Boys and Girls Club, which I'm very grateful for. She told me how to expand my horizons. She taught me skills like leadership skills, communication skills. And she also taught me to join other clubs at the Boys and Girls Club. And so I did. I attended cooking club, college club, and I attended this club named Keystone, which is a club that helps out the community and tries to do activities for the community and a lot of community service. And sorry, my dog. With those skills that she taught me, I became the Keystone president. And I was very, very grateful for everything. And now I'm in college due to the Boys and Girls Club and how much they helped me. And yeah, thank you.
Great job, Luis. It's a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for being willing to share your personal story. And I could never tell that you used to, be inside your shell, because it takes a lot of courage to speak in front of all these folks. There's almost 100 people on this Zoom, Luis. So we're proud of you, and thank you for speaking to the importance of these programs. Next up, we're going to hear from Secretary Reilly from the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security. Secretary Reilly has been here year after year, which just in my mind shows that, this program isn't just supported in the legislature. This isn't a partisan program. Everyone on both sides of the aisle, from the legislature to the administration, understands just how important these programs are. Secretary Reilly, thank you so much for always being a wonderful partner to us on Community Safety Day, and welcome. Please take it away.
Thanks, Representative. I appreciate the kind words, and Luis, great job in your presentation. Good morning to everybody on the call. Again, my name is Terry Reilly, and I'm the Secretary of Public Safety. But prior to coming to the administration, I had the privilege of serving in the Attorney General's office, in working in the Suffolk DA's office and the Worcester DA's office. And it's through those experiences I know firsthand the benefits of the Shannon Grant program, as well as the SSYI program. And without the administration, without the legislature, without all of you on this call, those programs wouldn't exist, that are really reaching out and serving our young population to give them positive pathways away from street life. I know firsthand that strong community partnerships and collaboration remain the most effective way to address and respond to youth violence and its associated gang activity. Victims, survivors, their families, and communities depend on us, both as first responders who quell dangerous behavior and as leaders committed to proactively reaching out to young people with alternatives. I know Renee gave you some stats, and I encourage you, look at those leaflets and the stats. It is amazing the work that these grants do at a community level. And the key to the success of reducing gang violence and reducing youth violence are through our community partners, through our organizations, and through the agencies that use these funds and put them into play every single day in our Shannon Grant, in our Shannon cities. It's amazing. I want to also highlight our Office of Grants and Research, and Kevin Stanton and his team, who I am sure all of you are aware of and know, do a tremendous job going through the applications and making sure the money is well spent, and they reach the most needy communities and really have the most widespread impact on people who can join these organizations. This year, the Shannon Grants put out millions of dollars, and the grants are important, but at the end of the day, it's our community relationships, our community partners. It is the folks at MAPC, the Metro Mayors Coalition, the Metro Mayors Community Safety Initiative that put those funds to work to deliver safe, healthy, meaningful opportunities to at-risk, proven risk and high-risk kids. No single agency can do it alone. Prosecutors can't do it alone. Law enforcement can't do it alone. We need community partners, and they need the resources and the funding to be able to create these unbelievable programs that have proven that, and that's the key. They have proven successful for the past 2 decades under Shannon. So Representative, I'm really appreciative of the opportunity to speak to the team today. I look forward to the continuing great work, and I thank everyone for their time and efforts, and I really thank the legislature for really paying attention to this and recognizing what a tremendous resource we have in Massachusetts with these youth organizations and our partners in the community. So thank you so much, everyone, and stay safe, and hopefully we can get together soon. I remember the last time we were together before the pandemic hit, and it was a tremendous event, and I look forward to seeing that next year. So thank you again, and good luck to everybody.
Thank you, Secretary. Wonderful to hear from you as always, and look forward to being back in person as well next year. Also want to recognize a few other colleagues who've joined us, Representative Rob Consalvo, Senator Adam Gomez, who we'll hear from shortly, as well as Medford Mayor Lungo Cone. Great to have you here. Next, we're going to hear from an SSYI youth participant from, I believe, UTech. Now, normally in this event in person, we'd hear UTech. The whole hall would be ringing with UTech cheers. So I look forward to you bringing the energy virtually and telling us about your experience as an SSYI youth participant. Please take it away.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for having us. I'm Anna. I'm the policy director here at UTech, going on my 6th month. So it's very exciting to be with you all. And I have with me today Lily, who goes by Migs, who is a part of our organizing crew, who's been really just exceptional at being a part of things like this, but also really like going above and beyond to make sure that she's improving her community and coming in every day to programming. So I'll give it away to her and she'll share a little bit about her experience.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Migs and I'm a young adult here at UTech. I've been a young adult here off and on for about a few years. And I know that UTech is supported by SSYI, which gives me the opportunity to participate in this program, in which I'm forever grateful for. I was first introduced to UTech when I turned 17 due to some bad decisions I made. I was in and out of local facilities and group homes when this program was offered to me as being mandated or 90 days in DYS, so I gave it a shot. It was a little rusty in the beginning for me to adjust because I've tried many programs, but none of them really gave me that clean slate. But over time, I started to open up. UTech gave me a safe and open space where I didn't feel judged or just a menace to society. Mad love really does exist here. Everyone around you is supportive and caring. Since joining UTech, I've been able to complete my high set for the first time. Complete my high set, and for the first time being in this program, I was actually able to move up to workforce and find a trade that I'm very passionate about, such as organizing. And this is why I'm here today and look forward to coming to work every day at UTech to help improve my community. And thank you for having me here today and letting me speak.
Thank you, everyone.
UTech. Great job, Migs. Thank you so much. Again, it's just so important that we hear directly from program participants. I think that's one of the most special aspects of Community Safety Day. So thank you for being willing to share your story. Next up, we're going to hear from my friend, Senator Adam Gomez from Springfield, who will talk about, who's my partner on the Shannon grant over at the Senate side, but who will also be talking about really how this program, I'm from the Boston side of things, he's over in Western Mass, so I think it'll offer a good glimpse of just how impactful this program is, corner to corner for the whole Commonwealth. Senator Gomez, welcome.
Thank you so much, Representative Madaro. It's good to see all of you here. The luxury of being virtual is being 2 places at one time, so my sincere apologies why I am masked up. But I want to talk about how in Springfield, how impactful the SSYI and also the Shannon grant money is so important to gateway cities and cities like Springfield, which I represent, Springfield, West Springfield, and Chicopee. And a lot of these resources, generally, when I used to serve on the city council, when we used to accept them from the state, they go to a lot of organizations that are creating an array of impacts within our community to help kids out of gang violence, to help our community out of poverty, and really coach young people, these organizations to be able to coach young people towards a better future. I know that these resources have been instrumental on individuals that look like me and has been instrumental to individuals like myself since a young person, because obviously this money has been historical, and obviously we know exactly what we're fighting for, and it's for our youth. So with that being said, Representative Madaro, it gives me great pride to be able to partner with you and also to listen to all of your testimonies on why this funding is paramount and why we have to continue fighting for this money and making sure that these resources reach the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Thank you, Senator, and thank you for being such a champion for young people across the state. I want to recognize Representative Carol Fiola, a wonderful rep from Fall River, who's joined us as well. And next up, we're going to hear from the Chief of Police from the City of Malden, Kevin Molis. One of the great parts of the Shannon Grant and SSYI programs is the partnership that we have with law enforcement. These programs really help establish important social bonds and trust between young people and law enforcement in our communities that end up paying dividends for us all. So Chief, welcome and take it away.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. I have a regular meeting every Tuesday at 9 o'clock with my mayor, Gary Christensen. This is the emphasis that he places and any city should be placing on what truly makes a city safe. The thing that really should resonate about the value of something like this is I have now begun my 43rd year as a police officer. And throughout that entire career, there have always been times when police have thought in their mind that there are things that we need but did not exist. The existence of the Shannon Grant is particularly relevant to my community. Malden is the most diverse city in Massachusetts. We have over 70 languages spoken at the high school. And we have been able to utilize this grant money to fulfill a very, very critical part of policing. Sir Robert Peel, the innovator of modern policing, said the police are the public and the public are the police. That the police belong to the only members of society who are paid to give full attention to the duties which are incumbent on every citizen in the interest of community welfare and existence. Well, the Shannon Grant has allowed us to place the police and the public together in a united effort to make our community a safe place. Safety is defined in many ways. The most common example would be it's the reduction of crime or the fear of crime. But it's more than that. It's more than that. It's the primary function because if people live in fear, then it tends to overwhelm them. So we're fortunate we do not have an environment where fear is looming over people. So in that environment, we have the opportunity to build bridges and establish trust with this very, very rich and diverse community. Many people have come here, first-generation immigrants, and they have come here from countries where their experience with law enforcement is much different than the ideals that we hope exist here. So we take that opportunity to engage the community in recreational activities, which place police officers. We have a very diverse police department. So we take the opportunity to place police officers in situations with young people where they get to know one another beyond the passing police cruiser, beyond the image that is portrayed by other people that might not be as accurate as the message that we write every day of our career. So we have been able to utilize the Shannon Grant money with things to have a basketball league in which police officers are coaches. We have a junior police academy, which is one of the most dynamic endeavors we have, where young people are allowed for a week or two to go to an academy and learn from actual police officers about what the job is, to talk about some of the myths, the stereotypes, and also to listen, to hear from people about what their perspective on policing is and what their expectations are and how we can deliver that. Some of the success stories, it's a fascinating thing to see someone who comes up to you later on in life and said, I went to the Junior Police Academy, or someone who shows an interest in becoming a member of the police department. I mean, Malden recently hired a very dynamic football coach, Richie Exelholm. In his earlier years, he was a participant in the Shannon Grant. Now he is a coach and a mentor. And one of the first things he did when he became the football coach at Malden High School, the most diverse school in Massachusetts, is he reached out to the police department to ask how we could partner together. So all of these things do not exist without the forward-thinking, united effort that the legislature has provided. Malden has a particular connection to this in the fact that Senator Shannon's son was a probation officer and worked side by side with one of my officers, J.P. Kelly, who is now a sergeant who was heavily involved in this. I'm very, very grateful. I know that I could speak a lot longer, but I know that time is limited. I apologize if I have gone beyond. But one of the things that I want to leave you with is the mention that both sides of the political aisle come together when it comes to important things. And I'm reminded of one of the most powerful State of the Union addresses I ever heard. It was when President Clinton looked up into the crowd and he pointed out a Medal of Honor recipient who, when he was 17 years old at Iwo Jima, a hand grenade fell in the foxhole and he jumped on it to save his colleagues, his comrades. And the president said, at that moment, Jack Lucas did not ask if they were Democrats or Republicans. He only knew there was a life to be saved. I thank you because you are saving lives. You're fixing lives and you're impacting lives. And we are the instrument that does it. The police are the public are the police. And we thank you for allowing us to be better at what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Really appreciate those powerful words about the impact of this program, and more importantly, to all our partners in law enforcement. Thank you for your constant support of these programs. We couldn't do it without you, and really, this is about law enforcement and the community coming together for our youth. And Chief, you explained that tremendously. Thank you. I want to recognize Senator Rush has joined us from Boston. And next up, we're going to hear from another Shannon Youth participant, Doris Almeida, who's a participant at the United Way of Greater New Bedford. Please take it away and welcome. Is Doris here? And apologies for mispronouncing the name.
It looks like Doris wasn't able to join us or is having some trouble connecting. She's been popping on and off on another Zoom. So
all right,
maybe we can
well,
go.
Going on with the program, Matt. If she joins back in, just let me know, please, and I'll circle right back to her.
Thank you.
Next up, we're going to hear from Senator Sal DiDomenico of Everett, a good friend of mine who's long been a champion of these issues. Excited to have you here, Senator, and please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Representative, and it's great to be with you, and thank you for hosting us all today. And I wanted to first thank all the participants who are out here today. Many of you are in the front lines every single day, changing the lives of our youth, keeping our communities safe, and being there when our youth need a helping hand, helping them find a different path, helping them not get into bad situations, and allowing them to live their fullest life with their best potential as well. So this is really an exciting day for us. It's called Community Safety Day, but also could be called Changing the Lives of Youth Day, because that's what we are doing with the Shannon Grant SSYI grants. I have Everett, Chelsea, Boston, and Cambridge in my district, and every community is impacted by these grants. And I've seen the positive impact firsthand in my own community. And it's important for us to understand that in the process of keeping our community safe, as the chief mentioned, we are also changing lives. We're changing lives of these youth. And I want to thank our law enforcement partners and our community partners for working hand in hand to understand this is a critical issue in our community. And when we talk about community safety, a lot of the issues that we don't see, that we're brewing underneath, that don't see the light of day, are avoided because of the work that all of you are doing each and every day. So it's important for us to understand that this is a partnership. And I love seeing all of you in person, but I also love the fact that we are 86 now strong and almost 100 at one point coming together because we understand how important this is for our communities and for our youth across the Commonwealth. And having Senator Gomez and Rep. Madaro leading the charge, you can have two better folks in the State House who are going to get this across the finish line. And lastly, I also want to mention, you know, we're looking for an increase in this line item this year. And you are the army that's going to make that happen. We have a lot of support in the State House. We have a lot of folks who understand the value of these programs, but also getting things done at the State House takes a lot of advocacy and a lot of folks pushing in the same direction. And while everybody says they support these programs, which they do, because it's an important piece of what we do in our communities, the words are great, but the action is better. So when you talk to legislators, telling your personal stories like we heard today, you know, it takes a lot of courage for folks to come out here and tell their personal stories and put themselves out there for an audience. But those stories are impactful to our legislators, and have them advocate on their Ways and Means meetings with their chair. It's important for them to understand that there's widespread support across the entire body, both in the House and the Senate, for these programs to be funded additional dollars. So thank you very much for your help and for your support and all the work you're doing in our communities.
Thank you, Senator. It's wonderful to have your support, as well as the support of so many of our colleagues on these critical issues. I'm going to circle back to Doris Almeida, a participant at the United Way of Greater New Bedford. They'll be speaking on their experience with the program, the importance to them, and the impact to the community. Without further ado, take it away.
Let me, bro. Oh, hello. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
We can hear you. You're good to go.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Doris Almeida. I'm born and raised from New Bedford, and I work with the Shannon program, getting my GED right now because I haven't got it while I was in high school because, you know, I decided to take the wrong road. You know what I'm saying? And I could just say this. I don't get help from nobody, like not like family or friends. And someone said, sometimes people would say when you meet a random person, they'll give you the most intelligent ideas out of something. I would say that the Shannon program is helping me be intelligent and do what I have to do to be successful in life. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I was just saying they're helping me get on the right track, doing everything I got to do.
Thank you, Diaries. That's exactly what these programs are all about. Keeping young people on the right track, making sure that we're giving them opportunities to be successful and to be safe in their own communities. And I love that we had multiple youth speak at this program, at this event. This is always a fantastic program, and I thank you all for joining us. And now as we close, I do want to emphasize just how important it is that we listen to our youth today and every day, but especially on Community Safety Days, where advocating for the Shannon and SSYI programs. To the youth, your stories have incredible power. I recognize that it takes a lot of courage to share your personal stories about why you support the Shannon Grant and SSYI. But it's absolutely necessary for me and my colleagues to hear those stories. You know, Senator DiDomenico was spot on when he said that this program changes lives. And we've heard that from the three youth speakers today. So as we conclude this program and as you go off to speak with your representatives and senators or their staff, make sure you explain what these investments mean to you, what they've done for you and for your communities. Your personal experiences help put faces and names to policies that make them more real. They humanize these issues in a different way than the numbers and data on a piece of paper do. So when you're speaking to your electeds, make sure you help them understand why you think this funding is critical for you, for the programs that you participate in, and for your communities, because it's through your stories that we can really understand the impact of these programs, and we make it abundantly clear that this is one of the most effective ways we can advocate for young people in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So I want to thank you all again. There was a great turnout, nearly 100 people. I want to thank our participants, our speakers, and of course, thank you for allowing me to MC this event once again and making sure that this event is a success every single year. So have a great time visiting your elected officials, and thank you again.